audit called Praise. It's really fun. Basically, it's like decentralized updates from the community through a lens of gratitude. So I'll just model and we'll pass it around. And if you don't have any praise, it's okay. You probably have some praise for Edu. He just gave a great orientation call. That's always an easy one. And then you can praise anything. I'll model how this works. And Zeptimus, are you ready for the timer and the recording?
Yeah, I'm actually on Gibbet, so there might be some background noise, but yeah, it's ready.
Okay, cool. Well, I want to praise Zeptimus for being so reliable, always able to record, always making timing, always doing the timing, and somehow he's gotten really good at flipping between the mute and unmute on OBS. So that's a talent in its own. I want to praise Edu for always doing the great orientation calls. When I come in at the end and sometimes in the middle, the energy is always so high and it's really fun. I want to praise Mount Manu and Nate for coming into working group stewards leadership roles, and really you notice the difference to see two people alongside Tam corralling the community. It's very noticeable. I feel very organized. I want to praise Zeptimus also for the amazing transparency report and audit for the last 3 months that sparked really great conversations. I want to praise Lauren for the great ideas on tributes and NFTs. I thought there were a lot of interesting opinions there. I want to praise Acid Laser for coming back. Good to see you, buddy. And great shirts. I love the shirts. I want to praise Durgadas also, who's coming back. I haven't seen you in a while, Durgadas. Nice to see you, man. And I'll praise Gideon as well for the progress on the TEC and its people and the Writers Guild. Lots of cool stuff happening there. And I'll pass it to Lauren.
Okay, great. Thanks, Griff. I want to praise Chewy for leading the Twitter and making all the things organized, managing the Airtable. I want to praise Wonka for writing and getting up that article about gravity. I want to praise Zapti for putting together the presentation on transparency and all the finances in the Stewards Council. I want to praise Griff for insightful comments on everything from finances to comms to peacekeeping. And I want to praise Mitch for always playing devil's advocate and coming up with great ideas constantly. And I'll pass it to Manu.
Thanks, Lauren. Okay, I'm going to praise Durgadas for coming back. I really do appreciate all your contributions, and I'm really happy that you're back. I want to praise Acid Laser also for coming back, and because he has a cool first name. I want to praise NT for his fundraising working group idea. I thought that was insightful. Especially because he hasn't been around the community, so it's really good to have him contributing on new ideas. I want to praise Septi for the finance breakdown on the part of transparency and how we went over it. I want to praise Mitch for all the work he's doing behind Praise Fund, and I want to praise Tam for just working with her and just learning from her. And I will pass it to Livia.
Thank you, Manu. I want to praise Gideon for the thoughtfulness he's putting in TC utility token discussions, and also for bringing some insights from Think Like a Commoner to SoftGov yesterday. I want to praise Optimus for being so incredible with the transparency work, not only the audits and the financial perspective, but also keeping in check everything that happens, who has credentials for everything, having the calls up on YouTube, looking at the proposals, having all of them organized, what passed when with what is just, it's so valuable, the work you bring to the TC. And I want to pass to Tim.
Okay, I don't feel like I'm so prepared, but I'll give it the best shot. I'd like to praise Zep for hosting the council today and the excellent audit that you did of the TEC finances. NT for having such thoughtful comments in the Stewards Council today. Gideon, you're so present everywhere and across so many different fronts, and you produce and execute and have such humility, and it's really a pleasure to be present in every meeting with you. Durgadas for surprising at the Stewards Council today. I'd like to praise Nate for being an extraordinary co-steward, and just your leadership is really kind of blowing me away. I like the way that you, I don't know, so diplomatically share a contrary opinion, and I will keep passing. So I'll pass to Metaverde.
I'm not exactly sure what the question is. What are we talking about?
Praise.
Oh, praise. I want to praise ViViV for coming in from Web 2 and just killing it like a beast. And now I see that he's like jumped in on the labs and is doing like the bot army. I love you, ViViV. And everybody else in the TEC for being so welcoming and loving. Tam for being so forgiving. Edu too, and Wonka for running Gravity and keeping it going, and that's all I got. And I don't know who to pass to. But I love you all.
Pass, oh, sorry. Did someone speak up? They wanted it.
Oh no, I just say I love you all.
Oh, great. I'll throw it to Wonka.
Thanks, Griff, and thanks, Metaverde. Yeah, I am finishing my lunch. I want to praise Durgadas for so much supporting Gravity for so many time, and for making us see the importance of trust creation and prevention. Also, to Bianca, because she's been a great coordination assistant in Gravity, and today she went to a call at 5 a.m. representing Gravity. Also, to Bianca and to Forrest for taking cases of mediation in Gravity. And I would also like to praise Septi for his support in transparency, and his support also in Gravity. Benz, Acid Laser, Gideon, and Taxil for helping to write and edit and have like several polishing sessions of the Gravity article that we just published, and all the stewards in the TEC. I might miss someone, but I will write it down, and I'll pass it to Nate. You go.
Yeah, thank you, Wonka. I want to praise Tam and Griff for creating space for leadership to emerge within this community. It's really awesome. Don't see that a lot. I want to praise Livia for being able to connect the community in so many ways and being the ultimate sense maker for every issue. I want to praise Mert for helping organize the Twitter Spaces proposal inverter session that is upcoming, and Chewy for testing out the Twitter Spaces. I want to praise Mitch for the praise Quant and the proposal inverter efforts. I want to praise Edu for continually making this community a welcoming place for all. Gideon for being a leader in the Writers Guild. Septimus for being a leader in the TEC in general, and for all the transparency initiatives that you are doing. I want to praise Bear for assisting you within those transparency efforts and really kind of embedding himself within this community. I want to praise Costa and Ephra for their help in demographics, graphics and documentation, and Wonka for Gravity Down. And I will pass it over to, let's give it to Jason.
Jason T. Phelps, New Hampshire. Are you around? No? That's okay.
Yes, I am. I am here. I was actually just finishing up eating as well. So I am a very new member. I would actually like to praise Edu for the orientation call that we just got off, just trying to understand what's going on here, who are the people. It was a great way to see some faces and start kind of putting together what does this organization look like from the outside, because it's all online, you don't really know. So I think that was fantastic for me. I feel very excited about what I'm learning here. So that's it for me.
Nice. And normally, if you want to gamble, you can pass it. You can try to find someone who hasn't gone yet.
All right. How about Ben's?
Hey, thanks. I'll praise Tam, ViViV, Livy for providing some clarity and directions on the metrics issue. Gideon for encouragement and support and writing efforts and the quick half-hour call on Tuesday. Juan for his work and perseverance in getting the gravity medium article up, and Taxel for edits on that. And everyone on the SoftGov call yesterday. That was a really interesting conversation. And I'll have to pick up that book, but yeah. I will pass to Boonju. Have you gone?
Yeah. So mine's going to be really short. I just want to praise Christopher for meeting with John and I this morning for about half an hour and sharing his insights and wisdom into the reward system and the practicality of implementing the same system or a similar system on NoSysDAO. He was very helpful, so thanks to him. And then I will pass it to Tam. Has Tam gone yet? Tam.
I did go yet. I did go already. I'll pass back to Griff.
My
Okay,
bad.
how
Yeah,
about
let's
Livy?
go. Oh, Livy went too. You want to gamble again? Yeah, Acid Laser unmuted.
I
You
can
want to
take
go
it.
Acid?
Yeah, thank you. So I want to praise Chewy, Alan TV, John Jonas, Angie Berry, Efra, Juanca, Septi, Maumanu for all your support while I was having my break, and for all your love inside and outside TC. I really appreciate it, guys, and it's good. I miss you all. Praise to Chewy, Lauren, Juanca, Efra, Angie Berry for their work at Twitter, and praise Bianca and Anna, Aloysius, Bear Bands. And I think that's it for all your work at the training. And let's go. And I think Edu maybe.
Thank you, Laser. I want to praise you for coming back. Sorry, my phone got crazy. I want to dish praise to Gideon for his contributions to this process of trying to build a sense on how we engage on the TC and how having meaningful conversations. I want to dish praise to Tam for the one-on-one sessions that we have. It's such a values and precious time. I want to dish praise to Jason and Meta Verde who stay after the call, after the orientation call. I want to dish praise to Wenju for coming. I think this is your third week here in the TC, so thank you so much for staying. I want to dish praise to David for just showing up. And I will pass it on to Septi. Did you go?
No, thank you, Edu. I actually want to dish praise to Dan, Sam, Maffer, Lowy, and Franco for the warm welcoming to the Given House as always. It's awesome. I want to dish praise to Acid Laser and Drugadas for coming back. You were both so missed. I want to dish praise to Bear for recording all the calls. I want to dish praise to Enti for a very nice new how to save all this data from the having NFTs. I will explain it on the transparency, but I need to explain for the reward. Having NFTs for the audit. I want to dish praise to actually everyone engaging in the conversation of the financial report. Lauren, Griff, Juan, Nate. I'll tell the rest. Also, Gideon for reaching out before the presentation to share his feedback. And I'll pass it to, it's fun now. David, did you go?
No, I haven't gone. Thanks very much. I'd like to praise Gideon. I'd like to praise Griff. Guys, for having your cameras on, and Tam, that's just awesome. And I also want to praise everyone in the meeting here today who's present. Acid Laser, Bear, Benz, Boonjui, Edu, already got Gideon and Griff, Jason, Wonk Bell, Lauren, Livia, Metaverde, Mount Manu, Nate Suits, Tam, and Zepti for continuing to hold the flame. And I'm so glad to see everyone here again and look forward to getting caught up. So I'll back to you, Griff.
Nice. I'll throw it to Bear 100. Are you there, Bear? Yeah. Wow, yes, the one last one. Well done.
Okay, bringing it home. I would like to praise Livia for her foresight in thinking about how we generate income for the community and create demand for the TEC token, and for her kindness. I would like to praise Tam for her leadership. It's really remarkable. I don't know how you do all you do. I'd like to praise Nate for his ongoing really good counsel as we ramp up the Medium publishing. I feel like I just have like a really good partner there who's always there to help and think things through. I'd like to praise Zeptimus for all the work he's doing on this in-depth audit. It's awesome and so important. And I would like to praise Benz and Taxel for their work on for the Gravitas article, and for Juanca for his patience and his determination in getting this up there. Okay.
You muted, Griff. You're muted.
I can still hear your excitement where you're still muted.
Oh man, that's too bad. It was really good too. Well, anyway, I'll just repeat it. Welcome to this auspicious 77th community call on April 7th. I hope you all enjoyed praise. I love praise so much. And it's not something that you just have to do on Thursday. You can dish praise anytime, all the time. Go into the praise Discord channel or any Discord channel /praise. It has a little, you can tab from recipients to who you want to dish praise to, and show your gratitude. And this gratitude somehow converts into TEC tokens. It's wild. So don't be shy. Show as much gratitude as you can, and help your friends, and help all of your friends and all the people who are doing good work get paid. So Gideon and I have our videos on, but I would love for everyone else to too. Just for a second, if you can, turn on your video and say cheese. Well, we'll snag like a quick screenshot while I read the mission. Our goal is to become the Schelling point for the token engineering community. Our economic layer will fund projects that discover, develop, and proliferate the best practices for engineering a safe tokenized economies, while aligning our collective success with the individual benefit of token holders. Our social layer is even more important. It is the most important part of the TEC, as it will unite the token engineering field around ethical principles, standards, tools, and methodologies that emerge as this nascent field advances. That's what we're doing here. So say cheese, and we'll keep partying. Okay, next one. Gravity. The other. So all of you guys have heard these announcements before, almost. So I'll try to be quick about it. But if you see any conflicts, feel free to fill out this type form if you want to anonymously report it, or there's active gravitons on the side. Juanca will talk more about gravity soon in his section. But basically, it's what keeps us all strong, and this relational fabric of this community so strong together, because if there is a problem, we see it quickly and we address it. So definitely check out this gravity type form, and if you see any problems, message an active graviton. And the other way we stay strong is through the advice process. If you have to make a decision, make sure that you talk to the people who will be affected by that decision and the experts on the topic. Advice process allows for our flat organization to stay flat, so that we don't have to have people giving oversight to every decision being made and manage it because they're in the know, right? So if you communicate your decision process to the experts and the people that will be affected by it, everything goes smooth. Also, hey, we have a gardens. It's really fun. There's lots of action going on in the TEC right now. I actually have like a little microcosm. So conviction voting is not like normal voting. It's not as simple as just going in and voting for what you want. You have so many tokens and you have to choose between which proposals. So I actually switched my vote. I love all three of these projects. I wanted all three of them to pass. But I was originally hoping that the team, the market, this is just a little microcosm of conviction voting of my experience today. I was hoping that the team proposal would pass first. This is my favorite proposal of the three that I wanted to get going first. And I was fully supporting it, but in the end, it didn't have enough support. It needed another 20,000 tokens to pass. So I decided to flock which means going to this other proposal, which I also love, which was dogfooding the proposal inverter, because it was 6 days away from passing. And when I moved my tokens over, now it's only 3 days away from passing. So now in 3 days, I can move my tokens back to the team proposal where I really wanted it to go, and hopefully some others will as well, and so that then that one can pass, and then I'll probably flock over to the CAD one if that's still being held, if that's not going past yet. So this is this idea of flocking. If you love all three proposals, then you can kind of bounce between the three. But if you don't like any of them, we also always have the abstain proposal, and this will slow down the whole thing. So if you put your tokens on abstain, then that will actually make it harder to pass all the proposals. Yeah, and so, but that being said, there are three proposals up. Dogfooding the proposal inverter will pass in 3 days. The CAD community funding is missing 76,000 tokens to pass. And comms team is missing 86,000 tokens to pass. So, but I think we will get these things through pretty soon, eventually. And let's see what else we have. Oh yeah, last time I ever have to show this slide, thankfully. Daylight savings time is behind us. But this is still a great chance because everyone's schedule got shifted. If you want to change the time of a meeting, this is probably the last chance you have to do it before this 6 months to take advantage of the crisis that daylight savings causes everybody's schedule. And with that, I will pass it to Tam for the Community Stewards Call.
And you guys are so lucky because my better half in the Stewards is going to be presenting today. So I'll pass it to Nate.
Thank you, Tam. So, at the Community Stewards, we're here to kind of interact with all of the different working groups and make sure we have good coordination between working groups and to stay on track with our development goals within the organization. So, each week we have 4 different calls that we host at the Stewards Working Group. First is our Stewards Weekly, which happens every Tuesday, where we have our agenda documented that you can look into, what we have, what we discuss. And then every other week we go through our Agile Scrum methodology of organizational development, where we have sprint planning every other Friday, followed by a sprint retrospective right before that, the day before our sprint planning. On the off weeks, we have a single meeting called the Stewards Council, which we had just today, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Our sprint planning and our sprint retrospective stuff is done through our sprint board through ZenHub. And if you get a chance to look at it, this is a great place to understand all of the things that are going on within the TEC, all the different initiatives that we have, and where you could potentially help out. So if you see any type of issues that you'd like to participate in, feel free to onboard into the ZenHub, get engaged with an issue, and talk to the people that are actually actively developing these initiatives. So that is one aspect of it. And then our sprint retrospective is, every other week we evaluate our sprint and see what works and what doesn't. We are on our 32nd sprint here, ending on the 14th. So if you get a chance to check out our ZenHub, please do. The Community Stewards. So our sprint retrospective for this past week, we went over two I'm at a loss for words here. What am I trying to think of? Actions to improve. Thank you. So we have 2 actions to approve from this past sprint retrospective, just like we have active gravitons. One of ours was to have active TEs for projects looking for consulting, because we get a lot of consulting requests within the TEC, and we need to have a little bit more token engineers. And so that's one of the goals for this particular sprint. We also have a goal for planning for higher outreach for educational events. And so that's in collaboration with the Token Engineering Academy and so forth. Our TEC Council this morning, we went over the ABC and the Common Pool funding issues, TEC utility, and this is a common theme that we've been having to try to tackle, and we've come up with some interesting solutions, and we look forward to anybody's participation in that. On the Stewards Mind this week, we have our TEC token utility, our proposal inverter, the CV parameters, which is how quickly things get passed within conviction voting. Keep an eye on the schedule changes. And we were looking to talk about the financial task force that can become a kind of a permanent working group over time to really evaluate the different financial and economic aspects of the bonding curve and so on. As you can say, there's a quick glance at the gardens. I know Griff just went over some of these, but if you want to engage further within the CAD community funding, dog fooding for the proposal inverter, or the team down marketing, you can always come to the TEC forum. Usually almost all of these have a topic and people engaging with it. And so it's very good to look at what these proposals are about and what people are saying about them, and to educate yourself on things before you vote. That being said, if you have tokens, please go vote.
We have 4 calls weekly in these weeks, and those are on Tuesdays. We are having practice groups of liberating structures and deep democracy with Lynn and Jeremy. On Wednesdays, we're having our coordination call where we are preparing the 3rd Graviton training that will start the 26th of April. We will be sharing the study plan soon, and the pre-registration also. We will have like 15 days prior to the start of the Graviton training. We will have the study plan in the TEC forum so that you can all start studying for the sessions. Also, we are always available to manage conflict, but the best way to manage conflict is to prevent it and to create competence and education around it. That's why we also have on Thursdays, right after this call, we are having a book club, and we are reading the book Who Do We Choose to Be by Margaret Whitley. Today we are going on chapter number 4, that is self-organization. And you don't need to have read the book to participate in the call. We will be debriefing what the content of the chapter, and also having our own opinions of the book. So everyone is invited. And on Fridays, Bianca and Anna are leading research regarding psychology and mental health in Web3. So there are a lot of activities. There's a lot of educational opportunities. And also this week, I mean today, we published an article in Medium. You can click where it says click here, Griff, and it will redirect you to the Medium article that we just published. And it's a 5-minute read to know what is gravity, what we're doing, and where are we going in the image. But yeah, it's just for all of you to be aware. And if you have if you have those 5 minutes, you can read our article. But don't worry. With that, I will pass to Softgop. And yeah, everyone is invited to join into our gravity activities and also to the Graviton training.
Thank you, Juanca. In SoftGov this week, so yesterday we had the pleasure to have Gideon sharing a little bit about his insights reading this book, Think Like a Commoner from David Boiler. And some of them I'll read it because they're short and really great. So David Boiler defines the commons as something very simple, that is the resource plus community plus social protocols. And he uses commoning as a verb. And this is very interesting that the tragedy of the commons is, according to him, based on a misreading of a commons, where it assumes no coordination. So even the writer of the tragedy of the commons end up saying that he agreed with that he should have titled it The Tragedy of an Uncoordinated Commons. And also he shared a little bit about the history of enclosures. So the privatization and commodification as we know it of shared wealth, and some of the history of it, how it started with the English enclosure movement, that the king just stole resources people were using and privatized it. And how we just assume that the market does the production and the government does governance, but it doesn't need to be like that. And now we are challenging these structures by having market and governance in similar means. And also how the rich history of commons has been kind of buried, and how can we start upbringing this history as we make new history for new commons, and how these discussions are very important to decolonize our minds about commoning, and how the government is the enabling force of the enclosure movement, and how being aware of this makes us just have better governance practices. So this was the initial discussion we had in SoftGov, which was really great. And then we jumped into talking about the TEC utility token. So we've been having many calls talking about this, and Zaptim shared today, and he would talk more in transparency about the status of our funds and the usage of the resources in our common pool, and how we should start to think about the utility of the TEC token, how to bring revenue to the common pool, and what are some ideas we can have. So from working groups as offering services to the TEC token utility, there are so many ideas, and we had another call this week to also discuss this. So we could have curation services with TEC tokens. We could have clients paying a retainer to use working group services like Gravity at any time. Or anyways, there's infinite ideas, and I'll start to collect them and to organize them a little bit. So if you have any ideas of how to bring revenue to the TEC, just share them with me. I'll make sure to have an organized post soon so we can start looking into action items. Also on kind of this page, Angela has a very interesting proposal that we were collaborating on to start a special interest group at the TEC. So we've been identifying a lack of hard skills expertise in token engineering in the TEC. So particularly in modeling and simulations, data science, and political science that are scarce in the sector in general. So how could we have an initiative to bring more of those skills to the TEC and contribute to the DAO governance space in general? So one of the things in the governouts that we were looking at is how governance plus token engineering knowledge is not so consolidated, and how token engineering practices are so important for governance. So bringing some of the learnings we had from the research group and some of the people that were interested, how could we start providing some services for the TEC and make this become a revenue model for the TEC, also using token engineering practices to create this model. So we'll probably have this proposal ready very soon, but the document is here in the agenda. I'll post this. Yeah, I'll post the whole deck for this call in the community hall. And if anyone is interested, feedbacks are welcome before we finish this. And with that, I'll pass to Communitas.
Thank you, Davey. So Communitas working group meets 3 times a week in different sessions. The first one, it's weekly sync of the working group that happens on Monday, 8 p.m. CET. Then we have the orientation call that just happened before this call, and that happens 7 p.m. CET. And then we have the launch Friday, 4 p.m. CET. The Fridays has been quite lonely the past Fridays, so you're welcome to join. It's non-related to workspace, and sometimes I join and I stay usually 15 minutes. If no one shows up, then I leave the call. But the idea is that space if you want to just hang out, talk about whatever you feel like talking. We usually talk about what was the favorite movie that week and stuff like that. So I invite everyone to join if you have time. And then on the side of the working group this week, we are talking about a few things. The first one is the gardening sessions. For the lack of a better name, that's how we are calling it temporarily. And the gardening sessions, it's basically a space that will be hosted by Griff, and that will start on the 20th, just before the soft call. And it's just to talk about proposals that are on gardens. So it's a place for hatchers to just go and ask questions if they have questions about the gardens. Maybe they got lost and they don't know how to vote. Simple things, and it will be a space that we eventually will like to have as a bi-weekly session, and also a space that we intended to foster some kind of education or a space for people to expose their proposals on gardens. Then we have an ongoing Gitbook audit that is done by the new guide, which is Costa. And basically the idea is that we have found certain aspects of the Gitbook that needs to be updated. So he's working on that at the moment. And also he's welcoming from this week on people on the orientation chat. He's welcoming people. So kudos to that. And then the next topic, it's TEC engagement process, which is basically a Figma document here created by Gideon. It's a work in progress, and the idea is to put it into, let's say, process or a visualization of what has been the work of the Communitas working group for the past almost 6 months. And the idea is that we'll aim to have a descriptive visual process of how things we recommend to go, and action items and processes that involve the Communitas working group regarding orientation, regarding onboarding, regarding how do we help the community to have better engagement, how we foster welcoming newcomers into working groups, and all this stuff. It's on that document. It's still a work in progress. So if you take a look at it, don't be so harsh into it. But if you have feedback, please, everyone is welcome to provide it. Also, we will be discussing this document in the incoming Communitas working group call on Monday. So if you want to sort of, for example, Libby mentioned how to provide an input for the quantification, so people can be aware when they enter the DEC that it exists a process that is a quantification. So we are trying to see how we can integrate everyone's feedback. So if you have feedback regarding onboarding, regarding orientation, or anything along those lines, feel free to join the session or to just provide a comment on the Communitas text channel. And that's pretty much all. We moved since a week ago, the orientation call, to just before this call. And this is the action item for everyone on the orientation call, is to basically join the community call. So we will see how that goes. And with that, I pass it on to Omega, and I don't know who will take on Omega today. So
it's me.
Mamani, are you in it? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's me. All right. Well, the Omega working group meets on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern time or 8 p.m. Central European time. There's a link to the manifesto there on that slide. And for this week, we've been working still on the onboarding journey. Every working group is configuring their own onboarding journey. We're right now doing some sense making around it through a Figma page, which we're calling a tour of the Omega archipelago. And there's a link to it as well. There's a lot of post-its and arrows that show up like our onboarding flow, the information, that we expect people to have for them to incorporate themselves into the community. There's also information about the constituent library and how does one become a subject matter expert. Information about ethics. There's just a bunch of ideas. I really triple praise to Nick for setting up this whole arrangement of links and post-it notes and joining the ideas together into something that makes some sense. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, we're still on an open call for subject matter experts. So we're looking for contributors to our library. Right now we have some token engineering OGs that have accepted to contribute. Trent McConaughey, which coined the term token engineering. Michael Sargam is also making an appearance. Shermin Boschmir. And so if you want to be alongside those people in our library, then please DM me. And with that being said, that is all for the Omega updates for this week. And I will pass it to Labs, which Sean is not here, but I think Griff is the one to take it.
Yeah, usually I get to show all the Labs events because I'm such a great hype man. Okay, so there it is. Sorry, for some reason my computer's being funny today. But TEC Labs, March 4th to March 6th, we got the Discord bot army. That our favorite potato head and YGG. ViViV and YGG, the match made in heaven, right? Well, they're striking that match to light the fire under the Discord bot army, and it's really cool. They're teaching everybody how to make Discord bots. If you want to get in on it, definitely jump in. I don't think that there's going to be a better way to learn how to make Discord bots ever. So seriously, all these calls happen on Friday at 8 a.m. West Coast time, 5 p.m. CET. You definitely want to hit those. Proposal inverter workshops are always going Wednesday, 9 a.m. West Coast time, 6 p.m. Europe time. That's in the Prime DAO Discord. And we're just about to pass their proposal in 3 days. So it's going to be officially a TEC project. So that's super cool. There's also the TE Fundamentals course, which actually we don't have anyone from TE Academy I see here. But the TE Fundamentals course will be is open, and this is like if you want to be like certified a token engineer, this is the way to do it. So definitely register for this course. The applications, there's probably over 1,000 applications by this point, so it's going to be hot. So make sure to register well. Take some time for the application, and then if you just want to wax philosophically about token engineering in general. There's some fun office hours in the Longtail Financial Discord on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon West Coast time, and at 9 a.m. in Block Science has a Zoom call. But if you want the Zoom link for that, or to see any other cool events that are happening in the TEC ecosystem, check out this TEC Labs calendar. Actually, this is run by Longtail Financial, so it has just cool, fun, like token engineering opportunity things to dive into. So definitely jump into this link, and you'll see it'll add a calendar into your Google Calendar, and then you can see all the interesting events that are happening. And I will pass it to Chewy for comms. Oh no, I don't see Chewy today. Who
intercepted? Yeah,
intercepted.
I'm gonna be the one that does it for Chewy. Chewy asked me, his dog Kid has something, so he's taking care of his dog. She's understandable, so I'm here for him. So yeah, the comms working group. The meetings are. Oh man, the meetings are. We have 4 syncs on Monday for the TE Academy, for Twitter, planning team, for animation video production, and for translations team. And then we also have 2 syncs on Tuesday for the marketing team and for the broader comms working group, which basically goes over all the work that the teams have been doing and brings it together into something cohesive, right? So those are the times where we meet. And yeah, for the updates for this week, the TE Academy, we're still shilling and pushing for all the different projects they have going on. They have the TE 360 is on their fourth call, which is like an introduction call for before TE fundamentals. And the animation and video production. There's an update on the proposal thread. Also, the marketing team, we sent out our first biweekly newsletter about 2 days ago, and there's for the translations team, there's a gravity process that is ongoing, and we're working on solving that so we can move on with the tasks that the translation team is expected to complete. And the Twitter team, there's Twitter draft unit on Mondays. It does not sleep. There's always tweets that are going live, thanks to the Twitter planning team. And those are pretty much all of the updates for now. And please, if you have TEC tokens, remember to if you feel like it, please support the marketing team proposal right now that is live on the Gardens. And with that being said, I'll pass it to Septi for transparency.
Thanks, Manu. Yeah, on transparency, we meet every Monday, 5 p.m. CT. Can you go to the next slide, Chris? Thank you. Yeah, actually, make sure all the TC calls are being recorded now, mostly by Bear. So make sure read the TC meeting protocol terms and disclaimers. Today we made a first presentation of the audit. It was the first part of the financial statement. The next step is going into the detail of every proposal being made on the commons. And another project it's also going on transparency is now being carried by NT, and he's trying he made an advice process. So the first part should be getting this advice process, but the intention is make an NFT with an EPFS when the audit is complete, so the DAO can have all these audits. So the documentation is also owned by the DAO. I think that's kind of cool. And then also in the audit, Ivy is working on the processes for the TC, and Ratio is taking care of the decisions. So the intention is to present this full audit done for April. These are the updates for. Actually, big praise to Efra for the designs of the audit. They're so cool. It's awesome. So big praise to Efra for jumping in. And with that, I'll pass it Griff for legal.
Thanks, up. Legal working group. We meet every other Friday at 10. My video's not on. At 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. CET. And the action right now, we passed our proposal. So right now we're working on distributing the retroactive rewards to the lawyers that helped us get to where we are. Man, there we go. And so we're also very happy to have Sharisa and Boonju who have been helping us and are actual lawyers and have been coming to the calls. So major praise to them for jumping in and adding value to our conversations. We're talking about content ownership. We're talking about legal implications of revenue. Do we have to pay taxes somewhere if we make money? These are things that we're discussing in the legal working group right now. And if you have a legal background or even just legal interest in these kinds of discussions, please join us. They're fun debates and fun discussions, and everyone learns a lot, actually. And I will pass it to Livia for rewards working group.
So, I want to start with the new praise bot. So 5IV shared the good news in the last call, but I want to reiterate that if you haven't activated your new praise bot yet, please do so. So /activate to link your Ethereum address to your Discord account, and you have praise powers like that. Why do we need your ETH address? Because you receive rewards. So every praise distribution after the quantifications, when we send TEC tokens, it's going to go to this address that you're providing here. So make sure it's a public address and that you're comfortable with it being transparent. And then to praise, you just use the command /praise instead of the exclamation praise that we have now. So /praise, and then you see a little command opening for you to put who you're praising, and then you press tab and you go to the reason why you're praising this person, and try to be specific. Why are you sharing gratitude? What about that action caught your attention? Why is that special? It's very important for everyone who's quantifying to have the most clarity possible into why you're praising. What do you mean about that? And what value are you expressing? And also try to, if you're praising for different actions, for example, I praise Griff for hosting this call and for being great and for having so much excitement, and for, if you're praising someone for multiple things, try to praise in many different commands, because imagine if you're quantifying that, then what value do I give for all of these things at once? So it's good to have them all separate. It will make it a lot easier. And then the forward command is just for praises on behalf of others. So in this call, in the beginning, we have all of the verbal praise, and then Mau Manu is actually dishing all of this praise for all of us, and praise to him for doing that. So he is going to start using the /forward command. So when you receive a praise on behalf of someone else, you will see it slightly different. And then with that, I just want to share that the 5th quant is closed. And always props to Mitch for this work, who have been gathering quantifiers, hurting everybody, and making sure the quants are happening. So we have the 5th one, and we're approaching the end of 2021. So it's been going faster than we thought. Soon we're going to catch up to April 2022 to present date. And right after this call, we'll have a review session. These review sessions are so important for us to understand what's not working with the quantification process, and also have insights on the community, how things have been going, what are people finding from the quantifications, and it's a good cultural exercise. So we'll have one right now after this call. Everyone is welcome to join. And the last ones we had are in this agenda, and there's a lot of very interesting insights in there if you want to check it out. And the reward board is working on a proposal. Zaptimus, Nugget, and Chewy are working on a proposal to share with the community for how we're thinking to spend the funds for the first distribution, and how are we going to deal with that in the future. So probably we're going to have a proposal for it once the funds from the initial buy are over. Hopefully it's not going to be so soon, but for now we're going to share what we're thinking and see the reactions of everyone and understand if we need a vote for that or not. And become a quantifier. We have 33 people in our quant pool right now, and it's going to be just better for everyone to understand what is the community quantification. Yes, it's our duty. It's your duty as a community member to become a quantifier. And it's fun, I promise. And it doesn't take that long. So yeah, with that, I'll pass back to you, Griff.
Thanks, Livia. Does anyone want to represent Token Engineering Academy today? I'm very happy to do it, of course, but I just want to make sure that I'm not stepping on someone's toes. Okay, cool. So Token Engineering Academy is the first proposal we ever funded, which is super cool. And it's they have so many things going on. There's the TE fundamentals. This is the big course that many people have already gone to. 965 signups so far. That might have been from last week. Who knows? I want to bet on 1,000 people have signed up, because that's a better number. Major help from ViViV, Eduardo, and Kai and Pat from PrimeDAO, who helped with the new Discord onboarding setup that's going on in the TE Discord. And yeah, and definitely apply for the TE Fundamentals course. There's also TE 360. The Fundamentals course is actually not going to be until after the summer. So this, as a partner in partnership with the Ethereum Foundation, they've been running just a weekly call to kind of talk about TE, token engineering in general. Definitely worth checking that out. Also, the CAD study group that Heater is running is heating up. Oh, I'm having a lot of trouble changing slides, guys. Okay, the CAD study group is heating up because Heater is, of course, leading the way. It's every Tuesday at 5 p.m. UTC. It's a great way to learn CAD. If you want to do modeling of complex systems, this is the hottest thing on the market today. To do that, at least the only thing open source that's really working well. So if you want to do open source complex modeling, CAD is the tool, and it's especially good at modeling token economies. So this course is like a peer-to-peer learning course where people can kind of talk about what's getting in their way and where they're having troubles. And there's usually experts in the call that can guide them through that. Or if not, people can work with each other as well. And if you're going to Amsterdam, which I know a lot of us are, I will not be, unfortunately, but Tam will be there and lots of other people will be there. I think, Wonka, I think you're going, right? Definitely check in with Angela, because they have their own little Discord group where they are giving feedbacks on TE fundamentals and trying to figure out exactly how they're going to make the course sustainable. And there's also going to just be a bunch of token engineering events. So the best way to stay up to date is to ping Angela on Discord and then she will add you to the Discord. It's a smaller Discord group. But you definitely, if you're going to Amsterdam, check in with Angela so we can all coordinate. And yeah, that's the show. That's our weekly check-in. The TEC, there's always so much going on all over the place, and I really appreciate all of you for coming and enjoying and staying up to date on the latest happenings. I guess we'll just see you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.